How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes tells the story of a young ape that goes on a journey that will lead him to question everything he's been taught about the past and make choices that will define a future for apes and human alike. Now, I have been really looking forward to this movie because I really enjoy the Caesar trilogy. To me, those are top 10 best trilogies of all time. I really love what Rupert Wyatt did with Rise of the Planet of the Apes and introducing us to Caesar and seeing his journey in that movie. And then what Matt Reeves did with Dawn and War is just absolutely fantastic. So going into this movie, my expectations for this movie have been sky high because even when they first announced that they were continuing this franchise, not only was I really excited, but I was really interested to see what we were going to be doing outside of that Caesar story. And while I really enjoyed this movie for what this movie was, I didn't come out loving this movie as much as I wanted to. It's still a fantastic little movie. But there are some issues that I have with this movie. Starting off with the positives for this movie, Owen Teague as Noah is just absolutely fantastic. This is a character that we are going to be following potentially for another trilogy because what this movie does great is that it introduces us to this character and gets us invested with this character by showing us his interactions not only with his friends but with his family and seeing that he is more of the sheltered kind of ape. He is the goody two shoes. He knows where to go and where not to go. And so once we get into this journey, once things start to go down, we're basically following this character from beginning to end. And if you're expecting a lot of action in this movie, you're probably going to come out disappointed with this movie. It is a bit of a slow burn type of movie, kind of in the same vein as Rise of the Planet of the Apes, where Rise really took its time to get us behind Caesar, get his motivations, and see where he is coming from. That's exactly the same thing that we do with Noah here. We're following him on this journey not only just to get his tribe back, but we're also seeing the world through his eyes and seeing how everything that he has been taught is sort of a lie, and he's trying to discover the secrets of what actually happened in the past with Caesar. And with Caesar, he's not in the movie, but he does have a huge presence in this movie. You feel his presence. These apes know the legend of Caesar and they try to follow his examples the same way that he would have if he was still alive. And I really love that you can still kind of feel his presence looming around this movie because what Andy Serkis brought to that character was a lot of humanity, a lot of life. And with Noah here, we're kind of following somewhat of the same beats, except they're going in a different direction that I really enjoyed. And then you pair him up with a new character played by Freya Allen, who is playing May. Those interactions right there is what really grinds this movie to reality, and you see the evolution, where they're going and what they're doing. A lot of the cinematography in this movie is absolutely fantastic. Every single time that we have a new Planet of the Apes movie, I am still just shocked and surprised at how great the motion capture is for these movies because none of these movies look like they have shoddy green screen. A lot of this movie is just absolutely fantastic. It looks wonderful on the screen and the apes look even more real than they did in the original trilogy, and just having that really brings you into home where it doesn't feel lost on you. A couple of the characters I really enjoyed, especially when it came down to Noah's friends. I thought those interactions were sweet, they were humble, and they were just a little bit of breath of air. It does take a little while for the movie to get going because we're introduced to new characters that we're probably going to be following, but just once everything starts going down, that is where you start getting a little bit more invested in the story. Some of the things that really didn't work for me was Proxima Midnight. I really love Kevin Durant in Abigail, so seeing that performance in that movie made me more excited for his performance in this movie because he is playing the main villain of this movie, and I don't think they really utilize him as much as they should have because he comes and goes, and really when he's in the fray, you kind of feel how big of a presence he is. He is kind of the worshiper, the king of this new kingdom, and so everybody is following his orders the way he wants to run his own kingdom. He has his motivations, but he doesn't show up till about an hour and a half into the movie, and then he's gone for a large section of the movie until we get to the last 30 minutes. So I kind of wish we had him introduced a little bit more. I kind of wish they used him a little bit more because whenever he was on screen, he was menacing, he was vile, and I really love what they were going for. But once he gets shoved to the background, that's kind of where you kind of want him a little bit more, and having him as a presence throughout the entire movie, a little bit more than he should have. Plus the pacing, I'm not sure if it's because I was tired or it was because I really had to pee the last half of the movie. But you start to kind of feel the pace for this movie towards the last 30 minutes. It does slow down a little bit more, but you're still invested in what's going on. And like I said, that might be a disclaimer because I had to pee the last 30 minutes, but I really enjoyed what they were going for. Wes Ball directed this movie fantastically. I might enjoy it a little bit more on a second watch, but overall, I'm going to go ahead and give Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this movie. It definitely does follow the same patterns as Rise of the Planet of the Apes, but it still feels like it's still in that same world. It feels like you're really following new characters and seeing where they're going, and you kind of want to see where they go next. But those are my thoughts on Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Have you guys checked it out? Did you enjoy it or did you not? Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys for the next review.